All right, so we're getting ready for a Vineyard Machinery Operator interview. That means getting ready to step into a world of specialized equipment grape cultivation, and maybe even a sneak peek into winemaking. We've got our stack of RoleCatcher resources right here, from career guides to interview prep, and even some AI insights, all to help you crush this interview.
It's interesting how RoleCatcher's AI can analyze job descriptions and pick out those hidden keywords so you can tailor your resume and answers to hit exactly what the employer is looking for.
Yeah, it's like having a secret weapon for job applications. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's set this stage. What exactly does a Vineyard Machinery Operator do? It sounds pretty straightforward, but I bet there's more to it than meets the eye.
Oh, you're right about that. Planting, pruning, harvesting those are key. But it goes way beyond just driving a tractor. Think about it. You're responsible for ensuring grape quality, working seamlessly with a team, and even troubleshooting machinery problems on the fly.
So it's a blend of technical skills and a deep understanding of viticulture. Let's jump into RoleCatcher's list of common interview questions and how to handle them like a pro. Ready to tackle the first one?
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
All right, here it is. Can you tell us about your experience operating Vineyard machinery? Seems simple enough. But what are interviewers really trying to gauge here?
It's all about assessing your comfort level and expertise. They want to see beyond just a list of machines you've used. Think about specific types of machinery, the tasks you performed, and even any challenges you overcame.
So instead of just saying, I've driven a tractor, I might say I've operated a variety of tractors with different attachments, from cultivators and sprayers to harvesters. I've used them for tilling soil, applying fertilizers, and of course, carefully harvesting those precious grapes.
Exactly. Show them the breadth of your experience and that you understand the specific demands of a vineyard environment. And don't forget to highlight those moments where you went above and beyond. Did you ever have to adapt to a new piece of equipment or come up with a creative solution to a problem?
That's a great point. Showing adaptability and problem-solving skills is key. Now, RoleCatcher also mentions the importance of emphasizing safety protocols. Why is that so crucial in this line of work?
Well, vineyard machinery can be powerful, and safety is paramount. Interviewers want to see that you take it seriously. Mention any safety training, your commitment to procedures, and any proactive steps you've taken to prevent accidents.
So I could say something like, I always conduct pre-operation checks, wear the appropriate safety gear, and maintain a safe distance from other workers. I even make it a point to double-check hitch connections and implement lockout procedures before any maintenance.
Now you're talking. That shows you understand the importance of a safety-first mindset, which is crucial in this industry. It's not just about following rules. It's about demonstrating a proactive approach to safety.
Okay, let's move on to question number 2. How do you ensure the safe operation of vineyard machinery? What's the best way to approach this one?
Think of it as an expansion on the previous question. Here, you want to dive even deeper into your safety mindset. Talk about specific safety regulations you adhere to, how you identify potential hazards, and your process for responding to emergencies.
So it's all about being proactive and demonstrating a thorough understanding of safety procedures.
Precisely. Think about a time when you spotted a potential hazard and took steps to mitigate it. Did you ever have to stop a coworker from engaging in an unsafe practice? Or perhaps you noticed a faulty piece of equipment and took it out of commission until it was properly repaired. Those examples highlight your commitment to safety.
Got it. It's not just about knowing the rules, but showing that I apply them thoughtfully and proactively. All right, on question 3. How do you maintain vineyard machinery? This one seems pretty technical. What should I focus on here?
Here's your chance to show off your mechanical aptitude. Interviewers want to know you can keep the equipment running smoothly. Talk about your experience with routine maintenance, like oil changes, filter replacements, and those all-important inspections.
And would it be helpful to mention if I've ever troubleshooted minor issues? Like if I spotted a loose belt and tightened it before it became a bigger problem, or maybe I had to replace a worn-out hose to prevent a potential leak.
Absolutely. Those examples demonstrate initiative and a willingness to go above and beyond routine maintenance. It shows you're thinking ahead and preventing small problems from turning into major headaches.
All right, let's tackle question 4. Have you ever had to troubleshoot a problem with vineyard machinery? How did you handle it? This one seems like it's all about problem-solving skills.
It definitely is. This is your chance to shine. Share a specific example where you encountered a machinery problem. Describe the issue, the steps you took to diagnose it, and the solution you implemented. Highlight your logical approach and ability to think on your feet.
For example, if the tractor suddenly lost power, I might explain how I systematically checked the fuel level, inspected the battery connections, and ultimately traced the problem back to a loose wire that I reconnected. It would highlight my ability to stay calm under pressure and use a methodical approach to solve problems.
Excellent. That paints a clear picture of your problem-solving process. Now, what if they follow up with, what resources did you use to help you troubleshoot?
That's a good one. I might mention owner's manuals, online forums, or even consulting with more experienced colleagues.
Yeah.
It shows that I'm resourceful and willing to seek out information to find the best solution.
Resourcefulness is a valuable asset, especially in a vineyard where unexpected challenges can arise. It shows you're not afraid to take initiative and find the information you need to get the job done.
Okay, question number 5 is about prioritization. How do you prioritize tasks when operating vineyard machinery? Why is this so important in a vineyard setting?
Vineyard operations often involve juggling multiple tasks at once. Prioritizing effectively ensures smooth workflow and meeting those critical deadlines, especially during harvest season.
So it's not just about being fast, but being smart about how I manage my time and resources.
You got it. Explain your understanding of the various tasks involved in vineyard operations and how you determine which ones take precedence. Do you prioritize based on urgency, weather conditions, or the overall vineyard management plan? For example, if there's a sudden hailstorm approaching, harvesting grapes would take priority over pruning right.
Right. It's all about adapting to changing circumstances and making smart decisions on the fly.
Exactly. Now let's say they follow up by asking, what factors might influence your decision-making process when it comes to task prioritization?
Well, I'd certainly consider things like grape varietals, the stage of the growing season, equipment availability, and even labor resources. It's about understanding the interconnectedness of all those factors.
That shows you're thinking holistically about the vineyard and taking a strategic approach to prioritization.
Okay, moving on to question 6. Have you ever worked with other members of a vineyard team? Describe your role and responsibilities. This one's all about teamwork.
Absolutely. Vineyard work is often collaborative, so interviewers want to assess your ability to work effectively as part of a team. Think back to a successful team project. What was your specific role? What were your key contributions? Were there any challenges you overcame together?
So I could talk about a time when I worked with a team to harvest grapes. I'd explain how I was responsible for operating the harvester, coordinating with other team members to ensure the grapes were collected efficiently and safely, and maybe even troubleshooting a minor mechanical issue that arose during the process.
Perfect. That shows you understand the importance of teamwork and can contribute effectively to a shared goal. Now, what if they follow up by asking, how would you handle a conflict within the team?
That's a common one. I'd emphasize my ability to listen actively, communicate clearly, and find common ground. If the conflict escalated, I wouldn't hesitate to seek guidance from a supervisor or find a constructive way to mediate the situation.
That's a great approach. It shows you're not afraid to address conflict directly and strive for a positive resolution.
Okay, we've tackled 6 questions so far. Before we move on, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier, RoleCatcher's AI capabilities. Can you elaborate on how that can help me tailor my answers for specific roles?
Absolutely. RoleCatcher goes beyond simply highlighting keywords. Imagine you're applying for a position that emphasizes sustainable viticulture practices. You upload your resume and the job description to RoleCatcher, and their AI gets to work. It compares the two, points out any missing skills or keywords, and even suggests ways to rephrase your answers to align with the employer's values and priorities.
So it's like having a personalized coach who understands the nuances of the industry and can help me present myself as the ideal candidate.
Exactly. It's a powerful tool for making sure your application materials resonate with the specific employer you're targeting.
That's incredible. Okay, ready to tackle the next question.
Let's pick up where we left off with question number 7.
All right, bring it on. What's the next challenge I need to be ready for?
This one focuses on staying current. How do you stay up to date on new vineyard machinery and technology? The wine industry is constantly evolving, with new technologies and techniques popping up all the time. Interviewers want to see that you're committed to keeping your skills sharp.
So how can I demonstrate that commitment?
Talk about the methods you use to stay in the loop. Do you read trade publications, attend industry events, or follow online forums? Maybe you've taken courses to learn about new machinery or software. Be specific.
Well, I can mention my subscription to Wine Business Monthly and the recent Precision Viticulture Technology course I completed. I also follow a few viticulture experts on social media. to stay updated on the latest trends.
Perfect. That showcases your dedication to professional development and your genuine interest in the field.
Okay, question 8 is, can you describe a time when you had to adapt to a change in vineyard machinery or technology? What they're looking for here.
Adaptability is key in any industry, but especially in one that's as dynamic as viticulture. They want to see that you're flexible and can embrace new challenges. Think of a time when you had to learn a new piece of equipment or adjust your workflow because of a technology upgrade.
One example that comes to mind is when my previous vineyard switched to a new automated irrigation system. I had to learn the software, troubleshoot those initial glitches, and adjust my irrigation schedule accordingly. It was a steep learning curve, but I was able to master the new system quickly and ensure the vines received the optimal amount of water.
Great example. You highlighted your ability to embrace change, learn new skills, and contribute to a smoother transition. Now imagine they follow up with, what was the biggest challenge you faced during that transition, and how did you overcome it?
The biggest challenge was probably getting everyone on the team comfortable with the new software. Some were resistant to change, so I took the time to explain the benefits, offer one-on-one training, and ensure everyone felt supported throughout the process.
That shows initiative and leadership skills. You didn't just adapt to the change yourself, you helped your team navigate it as well.
Okay, let's move on to question 9. How do you ensure the quality of harvested grapes? This seems like a crucial aspect of the job.
Absolutely. Interviewers want to see that you understand the importance of quality control and how your actions directly impact the final product.
So I should talk about my knowledge of grape maturity levels, identifying defects, and maintaining a meticulous approach during harvesting. I could also mention my experience with sorting tables and other quality control equipment.
Exactly. And don't forget those little details that demonstrate your commitment to quality. Maybe you have a system for marking vines with exceptional grapes, or a process for handling damaged fruit to prevent it from affecting the rest of the harvest.
It's all about showcasing my understanding of the factors that influence grape quality and demonstrating the steps I take to maintain those high standards.
Precisely. Now they might ask a follow-up question like, how would you handle a situation where you noticed a significant portion of the grapes were not meeting the required quality standards?
In that case, I would immediately halt the harvesting process, consult with the vineyard manager, and work together to determine the underlying cause, whether it's a pest issue, disease, or simply a matter of timing. It's crucial to identify the problem and take corrective action to salvage as much of the crop as possible.
Excellent. That shows you can make sound judgments, communicate effectively, and prioritize quality above all else.
Okay, on to the final question. Can you describe a time when you had to work under pressure to complete a task? This one seems to come up in almost every interview I've ever had.
It's a classic for a reason. Interviewers want to know you can stay calm, focused, and productive. When deadlines loom or unexpected challenges arise, think of a time when you face a tight deadline, a demanding workload, or an unforeseen obstacle. What actions did you take? What was the outcome?
One example that comes to mind is a time when we had to harvest a large section of the vineyard in a very short time frame. Due to an impending storm, the pressure was on to get those grapes off the vines before the weather hit.
I bet that was intense. Walk me through how you handled that situation.
Well, I knew we had to work quickly but efficiently. I communicated clearly with my team, delegated tasks effectively, and kept everyone motivated despite the time crunch. We managed to harvest the grapes just before the storm rolled in, saving the crop from potential damage.
That's a compelling story. It demonstrates your ability to lead under pressure, prioritize tasks effectively, and achieve results even in challenging circumstances. Now imagine they follow up with, what did you learn from that experience that you could apply to future situations?
I learned the importance of clear communication, pre-planning, and having contingency plans in place. You never know when Mother Nature will throw you a curveball, so being prepared is essential.
Those are valuable lessons. Now, before we wrap up this section, let's touch on those career insights from RoleCatcher. Thinking about career progression can actually strengthen your interview answers by demonstrating your long-term vision and commitment to the field.
That's a great point. I'm always eager to learn about growth opportunities.
While many vineyard machinery operators eventually advance to supervisory roles, such as vineyard manager, they oversee the entire operation managed teams and may even have a say in the winemaking process. Some operators become specialists in areas like organic or sustainable viticulture. which is a growing trend in the industry.
So there are paths to leadership specialization,
Yeah.
and even venturing into the winemaking side of things.
Exactly. And remember, RoleCatcher's AI can help you tailor your answers to highlight those career aspirations. For example, if you're interested in sustainable viticulture, the AI might suggest incorporating keywords like biodynamic farming, organic certification, or water conservation into your responses.
It's amazing how AI can provide that extra layer of guidance and ensure I'm presenting myself as a well-rounded candidate with a clear vision for the future.
Exactly. Now let's transition to those tricky behavioral questions that interviewers often use to dig a little deeper into your experiences and soft skills.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground, from those technical questions about machinery and great quality to the importance of safety and teamwork. Now it's time to tackle those tricky behavioral questions that interviewers love to throw our way.
You know the ones. Tell me about a time when they want to dig deeper into your past experiences to see how you've handled challenges, demonstrated key skills, and made decisions in real-world situations.
Yeah, they're looking for those stories that reveal who you are as a worker and a team player. So how can we best prepare for these kinds of questions?
Think of the STAR method as your secret weapon. It stands for situation, task, action, and result. A framework for structuring your answers in a clear and compelling way.
Okay, break it down for me. How does the STAR method work in practice?
Let's say they ask, tell me about a time you had to deal with a difficult coworker. First, you describe the situation. Paint a picture of the context. Maybe you had conflicting opinions on how to prune the vines. Or disagreed on the best way to operate a particular piece of equipment.
Okay, set the scene. Got it.
Next, you'd explain the task. What was your specific responsibility or challenge in that situation? Perhaps it was to find a way to collaborate effectively despite the disagreement, or to come up with a compromise that satisfied both parties.
So outline the challenge and my role in addressing it.
Exactly. Then you'd move on to action. This is where you shine. Describe the steps you took to address the situation. Did you initiate a conversation? Actively listen to their perspective? Propose a solution? Be specific and showcase your problem-solving skills.
So I might say something like, I started by having a one-on-one conversation with my coworker, focusing on active listening and understanding their point of view. We brainstormed potential solutions and ultimately agreed on a compromise that incorporated both of our ideas.
Perfect. You've demonstrated communication collaboration and a willingness to find common ground. Finally, you'd wrap up with the result. The outcome of your actions. Did the conflict get resolved? Did the project succeed? Did the working relationship improve?
In this case, I could say, we were able to move forward with the task at hand more effectively, the vines were pruned correctly, and our working relationship actually became more respectful and productive.
That's a great example of using the STAR method to craft a compelling story. That showcases your interpersonal skills and ability to handle challenging situations. Remember, it's much more impactful than just saying, I'm a good communicator, or I'm a team player.
Yeah, it brings those skills to life with a real-world example. So we've got the STAR method down. Are there any other types of behavioral questions I should be ready for?
RoleCatcher suggests a few common ones. Tell me about a time you made a mistake. Allows them to see how you learn and grow from setbacks. Be honest, own your mistakes, and highlight the steps you took to correct them and prevent them from happening again.
That makes sense. Everyone makes mistakes. But it's how we handle them that matters.
Another one is, describe a situation where you had to go above and beyond. Here they're looking for initiative and dedication. Think about a time when you exceeded expectations, took on extra responsibility, or went the extra mile to get the job done.
I remember a time when we were short-staffed during harvest, and I volunteered to work extra hours to ensure the grapes were picked on time. It meant sacrificing some personal time, but I knew it was crucial to support the team and ensure the quality of the harvest.
That's a great example. It demonstrates your commitment to the team and your willingness to put in the extra effort when needed and finally be prepared for how do you handle criticism. No one enjoys criticism, but it's important to show that you can accept it gracefully, learn from it, and use it as an opportunity for growth.
So instead of getting defensive, I should focus on understanding the feedback, asking clarifying questions, and demonstrating a willingness to improve my skills.
Exactly. Employers want to see that you're coachable and open to feedback. Now, any tips for staying calm and collected during the interview itself?
I always get a little nervous, especially when those unexpected questions pop up.
Remember to breathe deeply, take your time answering questions, and maintain a positive and enthusiastic attitude. If you need a moment to gather your thoughts, it's perfectly acceptable to pause before responding.
That's reassuring. It's better to take a few seconds to think than to stumble through an answer that's not well thought out.
Exactly. And don't forget to use RoleCatcher's AI-powered feedback feature to practice your responses and get personalized suggestions for improvement. It's like having a virtual interview coach right at your fingertips.
Yeah, I've been using that feature, and it's incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, what about after the interview? What are the best practices for following up?
A simple thank you email within 24 hours is always a good idea. Express your gratitude for the opportunity. Reiterate your interest in the position. And perhaps mention something specific that you discussed that resonated with you.
So it's a chance to leave a lasting impression and reinforce my qualifications.
Exactly. It shows that you're genuinely interested and that you took the time to reflect on the conversation. You can even use RoleCatcher's AI to help you craft a personalized and impactful thank you note.
Wow, RoleCatcher really does have a tool for every step of the job search process.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive into becoming a Vineyard Machinery Operator.
Yeah, we've gone from AI-powered resume tips to interview strategies, those all-important behavioral questions, and even insights into potential career paths.
So you're now equipped with the knowledge and tools to approach that interview with confidence.
Remember, you're not just prepping for an interview. You're stepping into a world of viticulture, a world where your skills and passion can contribute to crafting those delicious wines we all enjoy.
It's a career that combines technical expertise with a deep appreciation for the art of winemaking. And remember that final thought we discussed. Vineyard work often involves interacting with customers during wine tastings or tours. So start thinking about how you'd handle those interactions. How would you describe the wines? Answer questions about the vineyard. Engage with a customer who might not be familiar with different varietals.
It's a chance to share your passion for wine and the vineyard with others.
Exactly. So best of luck with your interview. We're confident you'll impress them with your skills and enthusiasm.
And remember, RoleCatcher is there every step of the way to provide guidance and support.
Cheers to a successful interview and a fulfilling career in the world of viticulture.